Welcome to Poinsettia Central. We're at Janoski's Farm and Greenhouse, where Mike Janoski is going to teach us everything we need to know about choosing the right varieties and making them last.
Dad started growing poinsettias in 1978.
These poinsettias come to you as little itty bitty plants.
Yeah, they come as cuttings in the end of July, beginning of August. They're rooted cuttings, and we get the cuttings and we pot them up from there.
In your opinion, why is it better to have a plant that's been grown here locally in a greenhouse from that spot, from that little plug to its fruition now?
A poinsettia is a really delicate plant. It's like a tropical plant, so it's very sensitive to its atmosphere. And when they get grown in Canada or wherever and put on a truck in a box for a week at a time and shipped and to the distributor, and then they ended up wherever, at the box store or wherever, they went through a lot of stress. Where when you buy a poinsettia from us, it's where it was grown at. You're taking it off the table where it was grown from day one, and only stress it's going to get is coming from here to your house.
When I'm walking through the greenhouse, what are the keys to knowing that it is a fresh plant, that it's the one I want?
You can look at the beads on the top. If the beads aren't falling off and they're still not fully open, when they're fully open, they're yellow. That's the end stage, and then after the end stage, they fall off.
So if I have some that are like green, and then
Yeah,
one that has a little yellow on it,
little
that's
yellow,
perfect.
you know it's not too overgrown,
Okay.
overripe or whatever.
And it's going to last longer.
Yes, it's going to last longer.
So once I buy my poinsettia here, important not just to take it right out into the car and then go shopping.
Right, no, especially in the weather we're having. If you get a 60-degree day, you could do that, but anything below 45, the poinsettia is going to stress really bad.
What do they do to get it out to the car? What do we do?
When you buy a poinsettia from us, we wrap it in foil, put your choice of color foil on the bottom, and then we put a sleeve around the outside of it to protect it, and that's holding the heat in from the greenhouse until you get it home.
And don't leave it in your car.
And don't leave it in your car.
When I get it home, what is the best way for me to make that poinsettia last?
The best thing is get that plastic sleeve off that we shipped it in to you, and then get the foil. You can leave the foil on, but you want to poke holes in the bottom so it doesn't hold water. Put it on a saucer or whatever, somewhere where it'll get some daylight, and you want to water it as needed. If it's near a heat register or whatever, it could use water every day. It could go 3-4 days without water.
In general, keep them on the dry side, or?
In the middle,
Yeah.
not too dry. Once a poinsettia wilts, it's hard to get it to come back. It's not like a lot of other plants are forgiving like that. Where a poinsettia, if you get it to wilt and it's telling you it needs water, it's almost too late.
Well, in all the years that I have been writing about poinsettias, it seems to be there's a fashion with poinsettias.
Right.
They come and go. I know somebody like your age would be more into the traditional, right? I know you love the traditionals.
Yes.
But us young folks, we want something new.
Yeah. There's always something a little bit new, and there's something that was new and it's not new anymore, and the fad went away. But good old red, white, and pink are still top sellers.
Well, I've fallen in love with that Poinsettia series.
Yes.
I find those Poinsettias last a long time, and they last a long time afterwards. How long can you keep a poinsettia inside?
As long as it'll keep for you. So I hear some people have poinsettias till 4th of July in their house.
Besides the big three, what are the other ones?
Like the newest thing is the Poinsettia, and they are shown to have a long shelf life in the house. They're looking to be a really good keeper. There's white, which is a pure white compared to the regular poinsettia. It's got a little bit of creamy white to it, and then there's a pink, and there's the off pinks, and there's a mixed colors. But they're coming a long way. And when they first came out, they were designed for a spring plant, a garden plant.
Oh, bedding plant.
Yes, a bedding plant. And then they didn't go over too well for that, and they brought them back for Christmas as a Christmas poinsettia.
Do you know many people that take the poinsettia out into the garden after frost?
Very, very few.
Yeah.
They try. There's people out there got a green thumb, and they give it a heck of a shot.
We always hear that poinsettias are poisonous. Talk about that a little bit.
Right. That's an old wives' tale. I mean, it's been proven that they're not poisonous, but anything, if you eat too much of it, you're going to get sick.
And I know from just looking at that sticky white sap, if you just dab that on your tongue, you ain't going to eat it.
No.
Tell me a little bit about what you get out of it, about growing good plants.
It's a challenge every year. We've been doing it so long. It gets easier, but it doesn't get easier. It's a challenge. There's always something when you think you got it down pat, there's always something it's a challenge.
Besides selling to consumers, there's a lot of churches that use you're spending a lot of time delivering to churches and other organizations.
Yes, we do like 200 churches within the Pittsburgh area, 100-mile radius of here.
For like the regular consumer, what do you hope they get out of getting their plant?
We like to see them get a plant here, and it's going to last longer for them. Nothing's cheap anymore. If you spend that kind of money on a plant, you want it to see it last as long as possible, and get the enjoyment out of that plant.
For more information about everything we talked about today, log on to everybodygardens.com. That's where you can also find lots of other good gardening information and how to become a member of my Seed of the Month Club. Until next week, we're going to look around for some more poinsettias. We'll see you then.